Have you ever felt like no matter how much effort you put into controlling your blood sugar, it always seems to fight back? You cut down on sweets, you exercise more, maybe you even take medication, but still, the numbers on your glucometer don't move the way you want them to. This frustrating cycle is the daily reality for millions of people around the world, many of whom don't even realize they are living with dangerously high glucose levels until it's too late. The truth is, high blood sugar is not just about diabetes. It quietly damages blood vessels, nerves, and organs, setting the stage for heart disease, kidney problems, and even vision loss. But here's the encouraging part. Every meal you eat also offers a chance to reverse that damage. Whenever carbohydrates are broken down into simple sugars, your body depends on insulin to shuttle them into cells for energy. When this process falters, sugar lingers in the blood, leading to the dreaded spikes and crashes. This state, called insulin resistance, is the silent engine behind type 2 diabetes and its complications. Medications can certainly help, but food itself has a remarkable ability to work with your body in ways no pill can replicate. Certain ingredients slow the absorption of sugar, train cells to respond better to insulin, or even tell the liver to stop flooding your bloodstream with excess glucose. By making thoughtful choices, you transform everyday meals into tools of healing and protection. And sometimes, those choices are far simpler than you'd imagine. One of the most effective blood sugar stabilizers isn't an exotic plant or an expensive supplement at all. It's a familiar spice that may already be sitting quietly in your kitchen cupboard. When most people think of cinnamon, they imagine it dusted over toast, baked into desserts, or blended into a fragrant latte. What's less well known is that this everyday spice is also a potent, natural ally for stabilizing blood sugar. The secret lies in its active compound, cinnamaldehyde. This substance enhances the way your cells respond to insulin, helping glucose move out of your bloodstream and into your cells more efficiently. In other words, cinnamon works at the very heart of insulin resistance, the key problem behind type 2 diabetes. Cinnamon also slows the rate at which food leaves your stomach, meaning sugars are absorbed more gradually rather than hitting your bloodstream all at once. Research has shown that even modest daily amounts of cinnamon can lower fasting glucose, improve cholesterol profiles, and reduce triglycerides, key factors for protecting your heart as well as your metabolism. Best of all, using cinnamon is effortless. Just half to 1 teaspoon a day stirred into oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies, or coffee can deliver benefits over time. It's a simple change that requires no drastic dieting or expensive supplements. And while cinnamon quietly transforms your morning routine, another food takes metabolic healing to an entirely new level. Tiny green shoots that hold one of the most concentrated natural medicines ever discovered. If cinnamon works like a gentle stabilizer for your blood sugar, broccoli sprouts operate on a different level altogether, more like a concentrated dose of plant-based medicine. These tiny green shoots, harvested just a few days after germination, look delicate but pack an extraordinary punch. What sets them apart is their sky-high concentration of sulforaphane, a natural compound that directly targets one of the biggest culprits in high blood sugar, the liver. In people with insulin resistance, the liver often releases too much glucose into the bloodstream, even when the body doesn't need it. Sulforaphane sends a clear signal to slow down this overproduction, reducing excess sugar at its very source. Clinical studies have shown that people with type 2 diabetes who consumed broccoli sprout extract experienced reductions in fasting blood glucose comparable to some widely prescribed medications, yet without the side effects. Beyond blood sugar control, sulforaphane also shields blood vessels and nerves from the silent damage caused by chronic hyperglycemia, adding another layer of protection for long-term health. Incorporating broccoli sprouts into your diet is refreshingly simple. Toss a handful into salads, blend them into a smoothie, or sprinkle them over warm soups just before serving. Their mild, peppery flavor pairs easily with other foods, turning an ordinary meal into a metabolic powerhouse. And while sprouts may seem unusual, the next food proves that even everyday snacks we once feared could actually be lifesavers for blood sugar control. For years, many people avoided nuts because of their calorie and fat content, fearing they might lead to weight gain or worsen metabolic health. Yet modern research tells a very different story. In reality, nuts, whether walnuts, almonds, pecans, or even cashews, are some of the most effective foods for keeping blood sugar steady. The reason lies in their unique composition. Nuts are naturally low in carbohydrates but rich in healthy fats, protein, and fiber. This trio means they are digested slowly, releasing energy gradually rather than causing sudden spikes. In fact, their low glycemic index makes them one of the most reliable foods for people seeking stable glucose throughout the day. Magnesium, found abundantly in nuts like almonds and walnuts, plays an especially important role. It helps insulin do its job efficiently, allowing glucose to move smoothly into cells. Several studies have linked regular nut consumption with improved insulin sensitivity and reduced fasting glucose. One trial even showed that people with type 2 diabetes who ate a daily serving of mixed nuts lowered their average blood sugar over time without gaining weight. And that's perhaps the biggest surprise. Regular nut eaters often feel fuller, snack less on sugary foods, and in many cases even lose weight. A handful of nuts in the afternoon or as part of a meal can transform a snack once thought forbidden into a secret weapon for better glucose control. And while nuts keep your energy steady, the next food shows how even humble legumes can rival the effects of refined carbohydrates and replace them for the better. If nuts prove that fats don't have to be the enemy, chickpeas remind us that not all carbohydrates are created equal. These small, round legumes, also known as garbanzo beans, have been staples of traditional diets for thousands of years. Unlike refined carbs such as white rice or bread, chickpeas deliver steady, balanced energy without overwhelming your blood sugar. The secret lies in their high fiber and protein content. Fiber in chickpeas forms a protective barrier in the gut, slowing down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. This means glucose enters the bloodstream gradually, preventing the sharp spikes that stress the pancreas. At the same time, their plant-based protein further slows digestion, helping you feel full longer and reducing cravings for sweets later in the day. Scientific evidence backs up these benefits. In one study, people with type 2 diabetes who ate a legume-rich diet, primarily chickpeas, saw significant improvements in their 3-month blood sugar average, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Another trial showed that swapping white rice for chickpeas led to dramatically lower post-meal glucose responses, proving how powerful small dietary substitutions can be. Adding chickpeas to daily meals is both easy and versatile. They can be tossed into salads, blended into hummus, stirred into soups, or roasted into a crunchy snack. By replacing fast-digesting starches with chickpeas, you give your body a steady fuel source that protects your metabolism over the long run. And if chickpeas show the power of fiber, the next food demonstrates how even tiny seeds can outshine many modern medicines. While chickpeas prove how legumes can steady blood sugar, fenugreek seeds take the idea further with effects so potent they've been compared to medication. These small, amber-colored seeds, long used in traditional medicine, are rich in soluble fiber and unique plant compounds that directly support glucose control. When soaked in water, fenugreek seeds release a gel-like substance that slows the breakdown and absorption of carbohydrates. As a result, sugar enters the bloodstream gradually instead of flooding it all at once. Beyond fiber, fenugreek contains compounds such as 4-hydroxyisoleucine and trigonelline, which stimulate insulin production and enhance its effectiveness. Together, these mechanisms not only lower fasting glucose but also improve post-meal readings and long-term averages like HbA1c. Meta-analyses of clinical trials confirm these effects. People with type 2 diabetes who regularly consumed fenugreek saw significant drops in blood sugar and improvements in cholesterol levels, particularly triglycerides. What makes this even more appealing is that fenugreek is inexpensive, widely available, and generally safe when used in moderate amounts. Practical use is simple. You can soak a teaspoon of seeds overnight and drink the water in the morning, sprinkle powdered seeds into soups and stews, or use capsules if preferred. Some people notice a faint maple-like scent in their sweat after heavy use, but it's harmless. For such a tiny seed, the benefits are surprisingly big. And while fenugreek works quietly in the background, the next food shows how adding richness from the sea can create a fountain of metabolic youth. If fenugreek seeds quietly enhance insulin's effectiveness, fatty fish make their impact felt across the whole body. Salmon, sardines, mackerel, and anchovies are not only rich sources of protein, but also provide generous amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, a type of healthy fat that rewires how cells respond to insulin. Omega-3s act as natural anti-inflammatories. By calming chronic inflammation, they allow insulin to function more smoothly, lowering blood sugar and protecting tissues from damage. These fats also reshape the membranes of your cells, making them more responsive to insulin signals, almost like oiling the gears of a machine so it runs more efficiently. But fatty fish go beyond blood sugar. They deliver vitamin D, vitamin B12, selenium, and iodine, nutrients that support energy, hormone balance, and cardiovascular health. Clinical studies show that people who eat fatty fish regularly not only improve insulin sensitivity but also reduce triglycerides and lower their risk of heart disease, a common complication of diabetes. Whole fish bring benefits that supplements alone can't fully replicate. The protein content increases satiety and boosts thermogenesis, the energy your body uses to digest food, helping with both weight management and metabolic stability. Eating 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week is enough to notice a difference. And if the thought of fish feels heavy, remember, the very next food shows how something as tiny as a seed can offer equal, if not greater, control over glucose levels. While fatty fish bring strength from the sea, chia seeds offer a more subtle but equally powerful way to manage blood sugar. These tiny black and white seeds have been valued since ancient times by the Aztecs and Mayans, who prized them for sustaining energy during long journeys. Modern science now confirms that their benefits go far beyond tradition. Chia seeds are exceptionally high in soluble fiber. When mixed with liquid, they form a gel-like substance that traps carbohydrates and slows their release into the bloodstream. This gentle process prevents the sharp spikes and dips in glucose that wear down your pancreas and leave you feeling drained. Just 2 tablespoons deliver about 10 grams of fiber, more than a third of the daily recommendation. But chia's magic doesn't stop at fiber. They are also rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which calm inflammation and further improve insulin sensitivity. Research has shown that people with type 2 diabetes who added chia seeds to their diets experienced improved glucose control, lower blood pressure, and reduced markers of chronic inflammation, all without major lifestyle changes. The best part? They're incredibly easy to use. Sprinkle them over salads, blend them into smoothies, stir them into yogurt, or even use them as a natural thickener in soups and sauces. Such a small addition can create lasting improvements, and if seeds can make this much difference, imagine what happens when we look at the role of high-quality proteins, like the kind found in grass-fed beef. If chia seeds show how plants can tame blood sugar, grass-fed beef proves that carefully chosen animal protein also plays a vital role. Often misunderstood and sometimes unfairly labeled as harmful, quality beef, especially from grass-fed sources, can actually support stable glucose when eaten in moderation. The key lies in its high-quality protein and healthy fats. Protein requires more energy to digest than carbs or fat, a process known as postprandial thermogenesis. This means that after eating beef, your body naturally burns more calories, stabilizes blood sugar, and reduces the likelihood of sharp spikes. Unlike refined carbs, beef doesn't flood the bloodstream with glucose, making it a steady source of energy. Grass-fed beef in particular offers higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids and conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, both of which improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. It also provides antioxidants like vitamin E and beta-carotene, protecting cells from oxidative stress caused by elevated blood sugar. Together, these nutrients create a supportive environment for better metabolic health. The practical takeaway isn't to overload on red meat, but to enjoy modest portions, about the size of your palm, paired with vegetables instead of starch-heavy sides. In this balance, beef becomes a metabolic ally rather than a burden. And if beef demonstrates how protein steadies energy, the next food shows how a creamy, fatty fruit can be surprisingly powerful at keeping sugar under control. If grass-fed beef shows the value of high-quality protein, avocado proves that healthy fats can be just as important for blood sugar balance. For decades, people avoided fats believing they were harmful, but science has revealed that not all fats are created equal. The creamy richness of avocado comes from monounsaturated fats, which actually improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Unlike many fruits, avocados are almost sugar-free, so they won't cause the sharp glucose spikes that apples, bananas, or grapes might trigger. Instead, they deliver steady energy while easing the demand on your pancreas. Each half of an avocado also provides around 7 grams of fiber, adding another layer of control by slowing digestion and supporting a longer feeling of fullness. Research backs these effects. Studies following people who regularly included avocado in their diet found better glycemic control without restrictive eating plans. Many participants also reported fewer cravings for sweets and improved satisfaction after meals, 2 changes that make long-term blood sugar management much easier. The best part is how versatile avocado is. Slice it onto whole grain toast, blend it into a smoothie, or add it to salads and grain bowls. With every serving, you're feeding your body nutrients like potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins while keeping glucose steady. And as powerful as avocado is, the final food on our list may be the most versatile of all, a golden oil that has transformed health for entire cultures. If avocado demonstrates how healthy fats can tame blood sugar, olive oil takes that principle to its peak. For thousands of years, it has been the cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, a way of eating consistently linked to longevity and low rates of chronic disease. What makes extra virgin olive oil special is its unique blend of monounsaturated fats and powerful polyphenols, which work together to improve how the body handles glucose. Unlike many oils that simply add calories, olive oil actively reduces insulin resistance. Its antioxidants protect the pancreas beta cells, the very cells responsible for producing insulin, from damage caused by oxidative stress. At the same time, compounds such as oleocanthal fight inflammation, clearing the way for insulin to do its job more effectively. The result is lower post-meal blood sugar and a smoother, more stable glucose curve throughout the day. Clinical research confirms these effects. People who replaced other fats with olive oil saw improvements not only in blood sugar control, but also in cholesterol levels and overall heart health. That's important because diabetes and cardiovascular disease often go hand in hand. Using olive oil is simple. Drizzle it over salads, sauté vegetables, or swap it in place of butter and margarine. Just 2 to 4 tablespoons a day can shift your metabolism in the right direction. And with that, we close our list of 10 everyday foods that, when chosen wisely, can transform your relationship with blood sugar naturally. Managing blood sugar doesn't require endless restrictions or a shelf full of medications. Everyday foods, spices, seeds, legumes, proteins, fruits, and oils can quietly retrain your body to handle glucose more effectively. Cinnamon smooths post-meal spikes, broccoli sprouts reduce excess sugar at the source, while nuts, chickpeas, fish, chia, beef, avocado, and olive oil each add their own layer of protection. The secret isn't perfection, it's consistency. A sprinkle of cinnamon here, a drizzle of olive oil there, fish twice a week, a handful of nuts in the afternoon. These small steps add up, sending your body a steady message to heal and stabilize. You don't need all 10 at once. Start with just 2 or 3, notice the difference, and build from there. So, which one will you add to your plate today?